Sorry, got disconnected. This is part 2. Some internet issues, and meanwhile I was here with this one. This is my new friend. Well, I'll just wait for people to come back online. Sorry for the disconnection. I have someone here with me. 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 I have someone here. This one practices a lot of awareness, and he meditates with me. I'll just send him out. Actually, he's asking me to play right now. We play a lot. Actually, after the cat has come, I'm more time with the cat and less time on the internet. That's a good thing. Oh, he's gone. Well, yes, I was talking about in the part 1 that we have trained the children, the kids, on so many things which is unnecessary, and it's very difficult to even for people to even decipher that this kind of education system is not really required. It is all on the survival mode, becoming the best, the competition. So in order to survive in this world, right from childhood, we teach these children, if you got to survive, you got to be the best, and that is where the rat race begins, and we call that education. So now the universe is working on that. So 3 months back or 4 months back, if somebody said, what is the use of this education, they would say, hey, what nonsense are you talking? Education is needed. And nobody would have listened. But right now, what has happened? Everything is shut down. And they are seeing for months together all the ideas and the systems based on a certain kind of a belief, strong belief, just collapsed. Now people are thinking on different ways to do the same thing in different ways. But nature will take one course only where it has to take, where it is trying to teach. Okay, this is not really needed. Same way, finance is not really needed. If people become, see, everybody will say, what nonsense is this? Finance is not needed. Yes, it's needed right now. It's needed in this 3D world. But actually, if you see, it's not needed. If every man is self-sufficient, if you know to create your own energies, if you know to draw energies from the outside and keep yourself sustained through the energies, as simple as that, simple fact, we cannot call this as a disbelief. People have done this. Human beings have done this. Our ancestors have done this. Our ancestral ancient civilizations like the Lemurians, Pleiadians, Syrians, they have done this. It's not that it's not happened before. We have enough good records. Forget those eras, millions of years back. I'm talking right now also. There are people who live completely on nature, on the natural energies. They are self-sustaining. And if they have enough to sustain themselves, what else is required? Man struggles whole day, whole night for that 3 meals, square meals we call it, for himself and his family. That is where the struggle is coming from, all the work and finances and all those hoardings and God knows what. It's all coming from there. To hold for what? Wealth for what? To eat 3 times a day, because by eating 2 to 3 times a day a man survives, right? That's the belief. So to survive for as long as your whole life is, you need money for eating that 3 times. Whereas our ancestors have proved you don't need to eat so much, or you need nothing to eat at all. It all depends on your levels. So instead of striving to achieve that kind of status, we are still going for the gross, because we have the taste palates. Our tastes are pulling us, pleasures are pulling us. So it's all a pleasure based system. It's not need based, it's a pleasure based system, which is right now collapsing. So either it is upon us, either we hook on to our pleasures and suffer forever and feel the pains of all this, or we learn, adapt to what is our root system, what human beings are actually designed to be for. Well, let nature takes its own course, because talking about it, nothing is going to happen. Being taught by nature, things will happen. Teaching will not happen by men. When men talk about it, it will not work. It has not worked. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had all these calamities till now, by now. So everything, dependency is the big root cause. We need to work on the dependencies. This is what I meant by saying greed and attachment. Even the dependency on social media. So I was saying, if something goes wrong there, we rush to something else. We don't know how to leave both the hands. One hand drops something, the other hand immediately holds on something. There is a kind of survival mode. So if something else has failed, now everybody is caught on to the social media. The whole world, you can see, is clinging now to the social media. They have nothing else to do. Whole day they are in the social media. Whole day. Imagine billions of population of the whole world is right now hooked on to one dependency which they feel is their lifeline, and that's the social media or the internet. Now I'm telling you, for one, as the Schumann resonance raises, frequencies goes high. Who knows? What if the electricity zaps? Actually, electricity also is not needed. A lot of things that is man-made, which is not really needed. We never know how nature is performing or how it is evolving. So what if the internet zaps? Imagine a situation where there is no social media. There would be havoc. So it is like, we are not wanting to open up ourselves and see everything in its sincerity, all possibilities. We are closing. We don't want to even think of anything. So these are all dependency based systems. So don't get dependent. That's all I can say. Best thing not to get dependent, and best thing how to self sustain yourself. That is the need of the hour. If you work more on that, it will help in this coming months of intense shifts. They're going to be very intense shifts happening. This is not to scare, this is to be a kind of preparedness and to be more natural. If you think unnatural, there will be problems. If you think through the false ego, the false I, there will be more turmoils. If you think with the real I, connected through awareness, it will help you smoothen out the whole thing, because what I'm talking right now is coming from a sense of awareness of what could be the possibility, what are the possibilities, seeing through everything as it is, as it is, not avoiding anything, not dodging anything. Well, I thought I'll just share this with you. And from now is the time when the whole world is awakening. It's no more like some people will do the job. Now everybody is doing the job. Everybody is shining their light. There will be more and more people coming up throughout the world, opening up and sharing their light, supporting each other, training each other, helping each other with their wisdoms, with their own life experiences, and by themselves living as examples. It is not that somebody is going to Kirina ji, Namah. It's not that somebody is going to plan out things sitting there, one head, two heads, 10 heads, and they plan out what is going to happen now. Because now the light has reached the masses. The time has come. Previously, when there were religions and all that, the light had not penetrated deep. Now it has penetrated very deep through religions, through masters, through traditions, through groups, through various cults, organizations. True, because they were very important. All these played very important roles till now. Through them, the light worked until it was grounding into all the souls. Now, the time the saturation point has come, where the masses have been touched by that light, and it has ignited enough number of souls where the mass collective now can take care of itself. And that is why you see light out from the public itself, the normal people. So the coming eras are going to be all by the norm, because there is no superior, inferior, there is no big, there is no small, there is no hierarchical systems in the new world. It's all equality. There is no like normal person or the common public. There is no common, uncommon, royal class, supreme class, and a low class. It's all going to dissolve. That is why you can see even the royal class might not have some solutions which even the most basic person from the public can offer. You can see a lot of examples happening. People from the masses are getting up, coming with a lot of solutions. So that itself shows that now it's all soul. It's not on the external qualification, external discrimination, external class or division that you have been put into by the vested interests for centuries. It's all breaking. Now the common man is standing up, and you see, just watch and see. In this coming year also, to 2021, it will be flooded with people who are talking the new earth wisdom. Flooded. It's going to be the new normal. People will understand it much better because each and everyone is talking about it now. It's not coming through one defined system. Everybody is talking about it. And that is what when people will be able to relate very easily. And they will work on it, and there will be more and more examples coming out. Now you watch out. There will be people who are surviving on prana, who will be very much in the common. Unlike before in caves, in monasteries, certain locations, and the whole focus was on them. Oh, it was like, oh, it was like a miracle. Wow, look there. Tomorrow it's going to be new normal. Every nook and corner will have people walking without eating food. It's all going to happen in the coming years or months. We don't know how fast, but it's going to happen. And when people see that, then they will believe, oh, this is a very common thing. Because now when somebody is talking from the caves, or when we are reading some text, it is a distant possibility for us. They say, oh, okay, they were powerful people. They were great people. They were great masters. They could do it. We cannot. No, the seed is in all of us. And that when many seeds sprout around and they start living, it becomes a new normal for us. Then everybody will adapt slowly into that kind of lifestyle. Fears will dissolve from there. Necessity, the need for hoarding, the greed will dissolve. When people understand this, there is no need for greed. But I don't know how much time. It's a huge rocking that's taking place. But it's taking place for all these only. So this is one small thing I just wanted to share. And I think today somebody wrote something here. I was not interested in any live today also, but the person asked me a question and I was like, okay, let me answer him here. And then when I was typing, I was seeing it was going huge. Then I thought, let me make a post. That is going to take a lot of time. Then I said, let me make a quick video and say and post it. Then I said, okay, again to post it, to filter it, bring it on, it's going to take a lot of time. Then I said, why not do it live and just finish it off? That's how it came live. So I think I'll just mention what he was trying to say. Now he said this is a very common thing, so that is why he's posting it commonly. He said this question is very common, so I'm posting it publicly. So if you posted it publicly, let me answer it publicly instead of taking so much of time in typing and all those things. I said let me do it because I'm just talking generalized. It's not a specific answer that I'm giving. Now this is from one person who said, I'll just read it. I don't know if you have read it, but I'll just read it. But yeah, I'm writing this publicly because many people are going through the same problem. I don't believe this. Many people are going. It's probably our belief that everybody is going. Then he says everything was going fine until some days before, I was practicing awareness. So in the background, he says I was in friendship with a girl 2 years back. After some time, we had a great fight, but in the end, I resolved it completely and moved on with life. Few days back, I suddenly got a desire to contact her, and I contacted, and she was not responding. She was avoiding calls, messages. This time, I made sure I'm not using any hard words which would hurt her. I was using only positive messages, but she doesn't want to talk. So I decided I'll not. So logically, I should not message her as she does not want to talk. And I decided I will not. But now the thing is that it's hurting me so badly from inside. No explanation why she is behaving like this. I'm feeling a burning sensation in my anahat and throat chakra. I tried Shambhavi healing, but it's not working. It subsided for a few minutes and then it comes back again. What do I do to heal me? Because I know there is no use calling her or pursuing her again. If one decides not to respond, they just do not respond. Well, this is a common kind of a question. You can relate it to different aspects of life that we have. This kind of question, he says, it's everybody's, maybe everybody's in different terms. So I think I'll answer it generalized. Uh, Two things that caught my attention was he said healing did not work. And the other he said was he was practicing awareness. So there are a lot of contradictory things in this, which I want to point out. That is the reason I said I'll talk it out. I can't explain this in the text typed. First of all, I'll read your own things and talk on that. I would like us all to practice awareness in this way. Awareness means, practicing awareness means being very sincere and authentic, very open to our own subtleties. Usually we think awareness is a kind of dodging away or something that will automatically happen. Like if it is awareness, healing will happen on its own. No, it depends on the quality of awareness and what is your definition about awareness. Many people have different definitions of awareness. Some people think awareness is thinking, contemplation, or a reflection, or probing deep into. It's none of these. Awareness is watchfulness. Awareness is observing everything when certain things arise in the body, psychologically or ethically, whichever way. We are just being mindful of that without judgments, without interruptions, without unbiasedness. There is no partiality. That you are observing somebody and you see something and you see, oh, good, bad, ugly, you can see that person's okay. This. You can see everything in totality. But when it comes to me, good, bad, I see. Ugly, I don't want to see. Or I dodge. Subtly, not purposely, very subtly. This is when your mind is doing the play. This is not awareness. Mind is ego. Ego means false I, not the real you. So when there is a lot of thoughts involved in awareness, practice of awareness, you're thinking, you're deciphering, you're making judgments, you're concluding, you're feeling something, this is right, that's not awareness, because in awareness there is no feeling at all, there is no thought at all. You are just experiencing that aspect as it is, and everything is crystal clear in front of you. It will not happen immediately, it will come practice. Like for example, we started this saying everything was going fine until a few days before I was practicing awareness. Now the question arises, everything was going fine till a few days before you said, because I was practicing awareness. Then why did you stop awareness? So you can see the solutions that we give here in our own words. It started with the first line that way. Everything was going fine until a few days back because I was practicing awareness. So you know, if you are aware and mindful, it will be fine. You stop being aware and the problem happened. So you yourself, right? You were practicing, it was going fine. So the answer is very clear, crystal clear there. Then why did you stop it? Then whatever this issue, I was friendship with a girl or something 2 years back and all that stuff. And then they had a fight. And then he says, after some time we had a great fight. But in the end, I resolved it completely. And we moved on in life. Now, looking at this from a different point of view, I wouldn't call this sentence very true. Being mindful, being aware, when you are aware, because you have written this in non-awareness. You have written it out of some frustration or some anger or some deep regret or some pain or some trauma. So obviously the mind has played its game, the ego has played its game. That is much visible in this message that you wrote. So why I'm trying to dissect this and show you, this is the practice of awareness. And sometimes we think we are doing it right, but we might not be. So you say, after a great fight, I resolved it completely. You have used this word, I've resolved it completely, and then I moved on with life. This also is false because you have not resolved it completely. If you have resolved it completely, then today you are not in a situation to write this. So you are carrying a wrong belief that you resolved it completely, whereas you have not. Get it right. So This awareness should show you, no, I've not healed it. I've not completed this issue is unresolved. Whereas if your belief system says, no, I've resolved it, and then you're saying, why is this awareness not working? You're in conflict. You're not being very truthful there. You have not resolved it, that's why it's not working. First step. Why deeper aspects are all different, but the layer, superficial layer itself has to be very crystal clear. This is how we are authentic. The integrity has to be there in the practice. So I'm just pointing out one by one where the conflicts are there, contradictions are there in your own message. This is not again to point out anything wrong against you or judge you in any way. This is a session that I would call it as a practice of knowingness, correctly identifying it. Then you write, present few days back, I got a sudden desire to contact her back. The desire to contact her back. You just wrote one sentence before, I resolved it completely. Next sentence you write, I had a sudden desire to contact her back. That means you have not resolved it completely, and you said we had moved on with life. Next sentence you write, I got a desire to contact her back. That means you have not moved on with life. This itself gives me a very clear picture according to my perception. I am not pointing out, these are all perspectives. You have to decide. Nobody can give you the exact thing. You decide. But everybody has got this kind of a common problem, so it's okay. So this desire to contact her back means that there was some kind of desire which you are only telling. You had not let gone of that relationship with whatever desire you had. I would call it some attraction that you had or some attachment that you had. Attraction or attachment, one of these or both. That was still lurking around inside you. Whereas probably when you are saying that I moved on with life and I resolved it completely, you should have completely plucked it out of your system. If that is resolving, and if you have not resolved it, then your actual focus should have been to resolve it until it's out of your system. Whereas you falsely believe that I have finished it, I am done with it, whereas it was not done with it, and it showed up again. And when it showed up, you are still not seeing that it was not resolved in the first case. You have jumped onto the conclusion and saying, why this nonsense is happening? I'm getting it. So this desire, again, you are pointing out in your own text that to contact her back means that you had that craving towards her, but you were believing all these days it's gone. That is a wrong belief, thinking that it's gone. So I contacted her and she did not respond. Obviously, she was avoiding messages, avoiding calls. Obviously, you said it's done. Here what's clear is the other person has done with it. They have resolved whatever the relationship brought. It's all karmic stuff, give and take, something to give, something to take. So that person, if they have decided with a certain decision, they're done with it, they're done with it, they've moved on. You have not moved on. So work is on you, because in the end of the mail you questioned, why is she doing this? I don't understand why she is doing what she has to do, she came to do. That was the karmic debt. She had to give it back to you. She gave it back and she's gone with it. You are struggling with it because you are not finished off with that debt yet. Her side is over, your side is not yet over. So you see, the focus is not on the blame. You're not focusing on that person did something. It's here that the work needs to be done. So the focus, instead of why is she doing that way, should be, why am I still getting triggered? Why am I still having those things within me? When you change your perspective, then the solution starts working. This is why healing does not happen. This is one reason why I came online to explain this. You cannot say the Shambhavi healing did not work. Main thing I'll tell you, what does the master teach in healing? Healing the root cause, which is where? Not in the other person, it is in us. The root cause has to be healed. Then the outcomes get healed. Whereas, the whole description, I can see you're trying to heal the outcomes. You're trying to heal the person to change for you. So I'm very sure the way the healing was done was wrong. Whereas the master has told many times, you cannot change another person. This happens mostly in the love cases, where everybody wants the other person to change as per my wishes. You know what is that called? That's called Vashikaran. When another person is not interested anymore, or not at all in you, or what you got to do or offer, or they don't have anything to do with you, but you still want them, coerce them, force them, manipulate them, because I want to feel good. I want to be happy. I have made that decision. This is my decision, and that person should change. And when that's not happening, I send healing to that person. This has been warned by the master many times. Never try to change others. The healing is being done. That's not healing actually. That's conversion. That's manipulation. Saying that you change. That's Vashikaran. That is why it doesn't work. Whereas, if you focus on the healing on your root cause and uproot anything that is within you, subtle, and clear the bondage, the karmic debts, seek for the lessons. What is this relationship trying to show me? What is this breakup trying to show me? What is this clinging on of mine trying to show me? Is it attachment of mine? Is it a craving? What is it? Is it a kind of attachment? Is it a kind of expectation from that person? Or is it something that I have still not fulfilled or forfeited as a karmic debt? Or is it something else? Is it trying to teach me unconditional love? So many things. This is what the path is all about. It doesn't necessarily mean that you heal and everything becomes as I like. That's not the definition of healing. What is meant to be is meant to be. What should be, should be. What is for the highest good of myself and the other is what should be. So if you change your perspective and heal, saying whatever is in the highest good of myself, whatever is the highest good of that person, let that happen. You have surrendered that to the best result, and healing will take place. Even the uprooting of these kind of cravings or desires which you say is still there will go. This is based on the intention. This is why the master always focuses on the intention, Shuddha Bhavana. Right intention. Intention should be right, because if the intention is right, he always says the healing works. So here the intention is for something else, somebody else to do that. Are you getting it? So the intention should be for the highest good of myself and the highest good of other person also. Most of the time what happens is we don't check that. We always say for my highest good. We never say for the highest good of the other person. Check and see if you're able to say that. If you're not able to say that, then the root cause might be something else. Is it jealousy? Is it hatred? Is it selfishness? There's so many things. That's why I'm saying I'm not giving you a solution. I'm just talking to everybody openly, generalized, so that everybody pick it up in different ways and see it from their angle. What I'm saying might not be exactly your lesson. So you got to dig out on that. Every aspect will show. It will fine tune to the most precise thing that, and if you hit that bullseye, practicing mindfulness or awareness shows you a lot of things in clarity, like what I'm talking right now, is a mindful approach to this problem that I'm looking at. I don't know who you are. I have nothing to do with you. I'm talking about the person who wrote this because I don't know anybody personally. So I don't even know exactly how it is relating, but what you write speaks a lot. What we express speaks a lot. Most of the things are all hidden in that. So I can catch these kind of points. So you can see if I can catch so many points. There are so many things that you will be able to catch because you know yourself the best. So then you write, I made sure this time I don't use any words that would hurt her, which also means that you have necessarily used many words in the past that has hurt her. Subconsciously you are talking this. You're saying you have done a lot of things which has hurt or upset her, but this time you were alert. So that came out of what? This came out of that need. I should not hurt her because you don't want to lose the opportunity to mend with that person. You're stopping your words for that reason, but you're not stopping it for the actual reason because of what you need to be yourself. I mean, if you are what you are, the true person, a purified person, so the idea will be that even if this situation would not have arisen, you wouldn't have spoken wrong words. There is no question of speaking wrong words. Maybe that is the lesson which this thing is trying to teach. This time I did not use words that hurt her because I did not want to hurt her. Because now if I hurt her, she will go again. So now you controlled, and this energy must have been sensed by the other person, where the other person will see how truthful you are. They can sense it and they will know this is not a truthful approach. And if it is not a truthful approach, they will not feel like understanding what you want to say. You got to listen. I'm taking time to answer your question. You got to listen. Because anything you type right now will be justification. I put that into category of justification. Then it is the ego mind that is not wanting to actually look into the solution. It's trying to justify itself. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did that. Awareness is observing, being silent, learning. If somebody is giving you a solution, you simultaneously are contemplating within. This is sadhana. This is awareness. We are not debating here, my friend. We don't need debates. I'm trying to help you and many others who are listening to this. How this thing is so sensitive and subtle, it cannot be seen. It can fool very easily people. So who knows? So you see, I did not use any words which would hurt her, only positive message. When you stressed on this sentence, it showed something that was not wanted. This is how the soul expresses itself. You see, the subconsciously, what is there inside, it shows itself. We got to be careful readers of all this. I would encourage people to write such things, not to me or anybody. Write it like a letter to yourself. This happened, that happened, this happened, that, because then your ego mind is doing all that. The frustrated mind is doing all that. You write everything. Leave it alone. Next time when you are focused and calm, and when you're practicing awareness, or before sadhana or after sadhana or whatever, when your energies are still and when you're deep and serene, open up this and read in awareness. You'll find a lot of things inside, hidden in that, which is being poured out by your subconscious mind. And now you are not logically looking into it. You wrote logically, but now you are not looking logically into it. You're looking at it with awareness, and then you see everything that floats out of this thing, and then you'll get hints. This is the exercise that I'm doing right now. Okay, so this is generally for all. That is why I chose to do a video on this. We all have these kind of issues, and we often struggle with this, so I'm trying to help in this. And then again it's continued. So logically it means I should not message her because she does not want to talk. You yourself are saying this, and I decided I will not, because I should not message her as she does not want to talk, and I decide that I will not. See, you decided that you are not going to talk because she doesn't want to talk. You tried everything, and now you are saying that to hell with her. I will not talk. Why? Because she doesn't want to talk. It is still unresolved. The reason you don't want to talk now is because she doesn't want to talk. Forget it. There is one ego on that side that say, I can't really listen to you. There's one ego on this side. Okay, you don't want to talk, go to hell, I'll also not talk. This is not a conflict resolving method, because deep down it's going to hurt us. So if you're looking into resolving this issue, you look into these things and say, okay, there's something that is triggering in me that's saying that I'm not lesser than you. Okay, now it has hurt my ego even more. Previously too, I was hurt, my ego was hurt, because ego, I mean not the pride, I'm meaning the false I. I was hurt before, and now when I made an attempt, it was like I made an attempt. Somewhere subconsciously I had in mind that after so much time I'm making an attempt, so I'm giving her another chance. So now at least sudhar jao. There's one good opportunity that I'm giving. See, I'm humble. I've become calm now. I've given up now. And I'm approaching you now. So now you should at least reciprocate to my humbleness. And when that did not happen, you go even wild. What the hell? What do they think of themselves? Why? In spite of me doing this. You see, the approach also was from that. It was not really to resolve something. It was rooted out of that strength in the ego, saying that, okay, let me get things right now. And deep within that, there was something else. There was this desire that you wanted that person. See how it is pulling. The deep root down is that your craving for that person, or your attachment to that person, made you take the step saying that go and approach. And what, when you logically think and when you think the ego, what happens is it will give you all justification saying that, okay, I'm now contacting, no, now I expect them to be okay. Otherwise, there are many people who have written to me in this manner, or even talked to me, okay, they do healing many months, and then they call the person back to check if the healing has worked or not. I'm giving you all perspectives. You got to check it out. What is right? I'm not saying you have done this. I'm telling you 20 different options. One of it might be true. You pick it out. So those people used to say, after so many months, I called back to be normal. Actually, it's not normal. They are trying to test whether the healing has worked, whether that person will now suddenly change and become the way they were before or even better than that, and accept you. And when that doesn't happen, they say the healing has not worked. So your definition of healing is wrong. Healing doesn't mean it will change the person. Healing means the karmic debt has to finish. And I'm telling you, the healing has to be successful even in the other way. Like, for example, if the person goes away from you forever, cut off, and has no feelings towards you, one side is done. If you have healed yourself and come to a stage where no feelings, it's okay. Let go. Healing has worked there despite the separation. Are you getting it? Healing does not always mean patching up. Healing is healing the karmic debt there. And karmic debt might be that's it, your game is over. The kahani khatam. The story has ended there. That's all that you were meant. It came, it healed both. Go your way. So having a wrong definition about healing also can cause conflict and confusion. So you say, I'll not message. Check out from which point are you saying this? I'll not message because she doesn't want to. It is not because there is no other option. We are not seeing that I'm not messaging her because I don't need to. You should come to that situation, that kind of a point where you say, I'm not going to call that person because I don't need to. There is no urge for me to call. That is healing. The thing is resolved then. We should never say, I'm not going to call because she doesn't want to call. Change perspective. Then you go ahead, then you say, I close the chapter, now I don't want to call, and then now you are saying, you are very honestly putting yourself and saying, but now the thing is that it's hurting me very badly. Emotionally from inside, good. It's good to acknowledge these things. That it's hurting. Hurting means it's not healed. So now the focus should be how to heal this. You ask this, how to heal, that's okay. But before asking that, you should have said, now it's hurting me, how to heal, that's all. But before asking how to heal, you again wrote a big paragraph, which I'm just focusing on. I'm hurt emotionally from inside. Then you write, no explanation why she is behaving like this. That means why? The question is, why is that not person changed yet? That means somewhere you were thinking that the person should have changed by now. And what is angering you is that person has not changed at all. So you believe your healing has not worked. Getting it? Then you say, I'm feeling burning sensation in the anahat, the throat, that area. See, when you're feeling these sensations, it's good. Because it's pointing you directly that emotion is blocked there, locked up there, you got to release that. Now you focus your healing to those chakras and turn that into light. Turn that into unconditional love. Practice on that. That is how you heal. Go to your throat chakra, go to your anahata, focus on that. Send energies there, not on the other person. Send there with the feeling, with the emotion and intent that it is for your highest good and the other person's highest good. Pray for their highest good also. Be ready for any kind of solution. Complete. Never think I am